The first question that came in through email was about her partner not wanting to do the work. And there was a big story, like there usually is. But at the end of the day, that was the question. She is the betrayed partner and she's doing her work. She is, I'm assuming by this email, working in some therapy with some counselor, but her partner, the unfaithful partner, is not. And she's asking me, how do I get my partner to start doing the work? So remember when I said that everybody can change, but it takes certain things and you have to have certain things in place in order for change to happen? That's what's going to apply right here. Remember I said there's 4 themes and you're going to hear those themes throughout all of my answers. So let me tell you what my marriage was like before we got onto the healing journey, because exactly what her question is asking me is what I lived. So after D-Day number 1, and I had, again, I always lose track. I think it was 10, 11, or 12, double digits. My husband never, ever wanted to do any work. We did go to marriage counseling. It was a disaster. We went to a different counselor. It was another disaster. It's how I learned very early on, marriage counseling is not going to work here. But he didn't want to do any work. He thought I was the crazy one. He thought I was the one who was preventing us from moving on, from healing. He really believed that because he had stopped all acting out, he had said he was sorry, he promised he would never do it again. He really believed that that was all he needed to do in order for us to like put it behind us and move on. And I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm in pain. I have questions. I don't even believe I have the whole story. So we ended up clashing and we had brutal fights. I mean, I'm talking 2, 3, 4 hour long battles. And that's just so toxic for both people, right? No human being is designed to stay in a rage state for 2, 3, 4 hours. We're just not built that way. So he refused to do the right work. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret. I didn't even know what the right work was back then. I knew, like instinctively, I knew he had to do deeper work. He had to kind of go back to some childhood stuff and figure out some patterns, but I didn't have the language. I didn't have the vocabulary. I didn't have the intellectual understanding of what he needed to do. I knew it instinctively, like I knew he needed it, but I could never have explained it the way I do today, which is why when people find me, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or the website, I'm like, yes, you have an advantage, such a big advantage over what I had back when I was going through it, because I didn't know any of this. So this is what we have to understand when you're with somebody who doesn't want to do the work. Number 1, you will not heal. You will not heal. If you are trying to reconcile with a partner who refuses to do the work, you will stay in a dysregulated state. And that may sound like a big fancy term, but it just means that you're not safe and your nervous system is going to constantly go off. Your nervous system is going to be, that gut instinct is going to be constantly telling you something's wrong. I don't feel good. You know, you're going to have that racing heart, stomach drop, lump in throat, all of those physiological changes in your body, because there's certain things that must happen in order for a betrayed partner to feel safe with the unfaithful partner in the aftermath of betrayal. And if those things do not happen, the betrayed partner's nervous system will not calm down. And sometimes people kind of sit back when I say that, but I got to tell you, we don't have time to waste, right? We do not have another day that for you to stay in this heightened state, because you're going to cause chronic illness in your body. Again, what did I say a little while ago? We are not designed to stay in a high stress state. for these extended periods of times. Our bodies can't handle those excess hormones, those excess stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol that are flowing through our bodies. So this is what you do. And it took me 3 years to do this. But I finally put a boundary in place with my husband. And I finally said, if you do not, now there's another little backstory there. I had an individual counselor, a one-to-one therapist ready to go. And I had said to my husband, if you do not work with him, we will not stay. I will not stay and we will not last. That was the hardest boundary I put in place because I realized that after 3 years of living like that, I couldn't do it anymore. And, you know, if you know my story, I mean, I was in a very, very deep depression. If it wasn't for my kids, I always say, I don't know what would have happened to me. But I woke up one day and it was my day one. My day one. I stopped sitting there thinking about one day he'll get it. One day he'll get therapy. One day he'll all of a sudden wake up and understand the pain that he's actually caused. I was stuck waiting for one day. That day was my day one, where I finally just said, look, I cannot do this anymore. Either you talk to this person or I can't stay. Now, in my story, my husband did. And that's, you know, that's the beginning of our journey of reconciliation. Sometimes it takes that boundary. And if you're the betrayed partner listening right now and your unfaithful partner is not willing to do the work, then you may have to put a strong boundary in place for your own health.